It was a sunny morning when Sophie decided to visit her favorite library, a cozy little place nestled between two bustling shops. The library was her haven, filled with nooks and crannies, endless shelves of books, and the kind librarian, Mr. Jenkins, always ready with a warm smile. Sophie loved the smell of old books and the promise of adventure they held within their pages. Today, she was in search of something magical. She wandered through the aisles, her fingers gently brushing against the spines of the books as if they were old friends. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity and wonder. As she meandered around a hidden corner of the library, she stumbled upon an aisle she had never noticed before. It was dimly lit, and the shelves were filled with ancient-looking books. There, tucked away on the highest shelf, was a book bound in faded red leather. Curious, Sophie tiptoed and reached for it. With a little effort, she managed to pull it down. The cover read The Chronicles of Everwood. She opened the book gently, a small cloud of dust puffing into the air. Inside, the pages were filled with illustrations of fantastical creatures and lands. Oddly enough, the book felt warm to the touch, as if it held a secret waiting to be uncovered. Sophie found herself drawn into the tale, where each page seemed to bring the characters to life right before her very eyes. As she read, she felt herself slipping into the world of Everwood, a place filled with talking animals, friendly giants, and magical forests. Mr. Jenkins, noticing the gleam of excitement in Sophie's eyes, approached softly. You've found the Everwood Chronicles, he said with a knowing smile. Many say that book can take you on an adventure unlike any other. Sophie beamed, feeling the adventure in her mind ready to unfold. She hugged the book close, knowing she had discovered something truly extraordinary. As she prepared to leave, she turned back to Mr. Jenkins. Thank you for keeping such wondrous secrets, Mr. Jenkins. With the old book in her arms and the endless possibilities it presented, Sophie left the library, her heart filled with excitement for the journey that awaited her. In the charming village of Eldervale, there lived a curious young girl named Lyra. She had freckles that danced across her cheeks like stars in the night sky and eyes that sparkled with wonderment. Lyra's heart was full of adventure, and her mind was always buzzing with questions. One blustery afternoon, as raindrops played a rhythmic tune against the window panes, Lyra found herself in her grandmother's dusty old attic. It smelled of forgotten secrets and hidden magic. As she wandered amidst the cobweb-laden treasures, a peculiar book caught her eye. It sat quietly, nestled between a wooden ship and an iron lantern. The book's cover was faded, with delicate golden letters that intertwined to spell Chronicles of Wonder. Intrigued, Lyra reached out and cradled the book in her arms. As she flipped open the brittle pages, a whisper tickled her ear. It was a soft and gentle hum, like the rustling of leaves in a secret forest. Hello, Lyra, the book seemed to say, though no one was there. Her heart skipped with excitement rather than fear. She found herself eagerly leaning in, listening intently. You hold the magic within your hands, dear child, the whispers continued. Each page she turned revealed a new story, tales of faraway lands where mythical creatures roamed and stars told stories. The more Lyra read, the louder the whispers became, guiding her mind to explore the worlds woven within. She discovered lands where fairies danced through moonlit gardens, where dragons soared over shimmering oceans, and where time spun tales of heroes and quests. The book, alive with enchanted voices, drew Lyra into its world of dreams. Night after night, she raced to the attic, eager to lose herself in the whispered enchantments and dreams locked within the pages of the Chronicles of Wonder. The attic soon became her secret haven, a place where stories blossomed and imagination reigned free. Strange as it was, Lyra never questioned the whispering book. To her, it was a friend, a portal to the magical and mysterious. And with every whisper heard, a new adventure unfurled, forever saved on the fluttering pages of the book that loved her back. Once upon a time, in a whimsical little town called Petalville, there lived a curious little girl named Lily. Lily had large, bright eyes and a keen sense of adventure. Her favorite place was the town's ancient library, a place filled with dusty tomes and hidden secrets. One sunny afternoon, as she wandered through the aisles, her fingers traced the spines of countless books until she stumbled upon a peculiar, leather-bound book she had never seen before. Its cover was embroidered with golden threads that seemed to sparkle in the sunlight. A sense of wonder and curiosity washed over her as she carefully opened the old book. The moment she lifted the heavy cover, something extraordinary happened. The ornate words began to glow, lifting gently from the pages, twinkling like stars in the night sky. To Lily's amazement, the words floated around her, forming fluttering sentences in the air. Feeling bewildered yet thrilled, she read aloud. In this world of magic spells, of stories untold, wonders dwell. As she recited each line, the words transformed into lively visions, vivid images swirling around her. There was a shimmering river with dancing fish, a forest with whispering trees, and even a castle in the clouds. Lily leapt in joy and reached out her hand, finding that she could touch the visions and they would ripple like water. The book seemed to understand her playful spirit, responding to her imagination and storytelling desires. Word got around about the magical experience, and soon the library was bustling with children eager to see the book's wonders. However, only Lily could open it and release the magic, making her days filled with new friends and endless tales spun into reality. From that day, she became the guardian of this enchanted book, filling her life with adventure, creativity, and boundless joy, making every day in Petalville a new story waiting to unfold. Once, in the heart of a small town, there stood an old, grand library named the Whispering Library. It wasn't just a regular library. Each book on its shelves held a story more alive than anywhere else. But recently, something curious was happening. A little girl named Emma, with big glasses and a heart full of curiosity, loved spending her afternoons there. On one particular day, as she wandered through the aisles, she heard faint whispers. "Help us," the books seemed to call. Startled and intrigued, Emma leaned in closer to a shelf of fairy tales. "Who's there?" Emma whispered back. A tiny character from one of the fairy tale books, a little gnome named Grindel, slowly emerged from between the pages. He adjusted his pointy hat and said, "Emma, thank goodness you're here. We need your help." Emma blinked in surprise. "What do you mean, Grindel?" "The stories have become restless," Grindel explained with a worried expression. "They are trapped within their pages and cannot experience new adventures unless someone believes in them again." Emma sat down, her hand resting on her chin. "But how can I help?" Grindel smiled warmly. "By reading us and sharing our tales, you can bring life back to the stories. Just talking about us can unleash the magic we need to roam free and inspire anew." Determined to help, Emma began reading aloud, her voice capturing the essence of each tale. As she read, the library seemed to brighten. The characters danced from their pages in gratitude. Knights, dragons, and princesses twirled around her in an enchanting symphony of color and sound. Soon, word spread of the magic in the Whispering Library. Children from all around came to experience the wonder. Every story they read helped free another character, and the library buzzed with life and joy. Emma knew that as long as people continued to read and believe, the stories would never be trapped on those dusty shelves again. She looked at Grindel, who gave her a wink before slipping back into his book, ready for the next young dreamer to set him free. And so, the magic of the Whispering Library lived happily ever after. Once upon a time in the small village of Willowbrook, there was a curious little girl named Sophie. Sophie loved to explore the dusty old library at the end of her street. One sunny afternoon, while skimming through the shelves, she stumbled upon a peculiar book with a shimmering golden cover. Engraved on the cover were the words, "Mysteries of the Enchanted Garden." Intrigued, Sophie carefully opened the book. Pages filled with ancient symbols and vibrant illustrations of magical creatures captured her attention. As she flipped through the pages, she found a spell titled "The Secret of Freedom." Her eyes widened in excitement, not knowing what kind of adventure awaited her. Without hesitation, Sophie decided to recite the spell. By the whispering willows, the gentle streams, I call upon magic to fulfill my dreams, she chanted, her voice echoing throughout the quiet library. Suddenly, the book glowed brightly, and a warm breeze swirled around her, spiraling with golden sparkles. One by one, mystical creatures emerged from the book, delicate fairies with iridescent wings, fluttering butterflies, and even a wise old gnome who had been trapped in the pages for centuries. "Thank you, dear child," the gnome said gratefully, adjusting his tiny spectacles. "You've set us free from the confines of the book. We're beholden to your kindness." Sophie giggled, astounded by the magical beings surrounding her. "What will you do now?" she asked, curious about their next steps. "We must return to our home in the enchanted garden," the head fairy twinkling in the sunlight replied. "There, we will live peacefully and safely." Before the creatures departed, the gnome handed Sophie a small glass vial filled with golden dust. "For your courage and compassion, we give you a bit of our magic. Use it wisely, dear Sophie," he instructed. With a wave and a twinkle, the creatures soared into the sky, disappearing from sight. Sophie stood alone in the library, the vial of golden dust clutched tightly in her hand, her heart brimming with joy and wonder from the unexpected adventure. And so, the enchanted book became a cherished possession of Sophie's, and every now and then, she would glance at it, smiling at the memory of her magical afternoon and the creatures she had freed.